Good morning, friends. My name is Jadhav sir from Trimurti Junior College, Nevasabata. At the previous lecture, we started a new chapter from the new syllabus of 12th Science subject Physics, in which we started a new chapter. Name is Electrostatics. At the last lecture, we seen the Gauss theorem and its first application, that is electric field intensity at a point due to the charged spherical shell or hollow sphere. Then, in which we study the electric field, electric flux, electric field intensity, surface charge density, and to find the electric field intensity due to the surface or charged spherical shell or hollow sphere. Now, today we learn a second application of Gauss theorem. The second application is to determine electric field intensity due to an infinitely long straight charge wire. Electric field intensity due to infinitely long straight charge wire or cylinder. So, in which at the last lecture we see a surface charge density. Now, in this application, we learn a linear charge density. Then, at the last lecture, surface charge density is denoted by sigma. Surface charge density is denoted by sigma. It is charge per unit length. Charge per unit length. Here, linear charge density is denoted by lambda. Here, linear charge density is denoted by lambda. Therefore, lambda is equal to Q upon L. Lambda is equal to Q upon L. That is charge per unit length of area. Charge per unit length. Charge per unit length. It is Q upon L. Therefore, from this equation, we can write the value of Q. Q is equal to lambda L. Q is equal to lambda L. It is denoted by equation number first. Now, in this second application, we determine the electric field intensity. Now, in this figure, we consider a infinitely long straight charge wire or cylinder having radius capital R. Having radius capital R. And this wire or cylinder are positively charged. Positively charged. And we draw a coaxial imaginary Gaussian cylinder or a Gaussian surface having radius R. Here, this dotted cylinder is called as Gaussian surface. Its radius is small r. And by the symmetry, the magnitude of electric field, is same at a distance r around the charged spherical or charged wire or cylinder. Then we consider a point P on this Gaussian surface, imaginary Gaussian surface. At a distance r, small r, at that point, electric field intensity E. This point having small surface area ds. ds is the small surface area of a point that P. this point P is lies on the Gaussian surface. Then this point P is lies on the Gaussian surface. The electric field is directed out from, radially directed out from this cylinder. Ds is the small surface, and we determine the electric field intensity at the point P. Then we know that this wire is also kept in the medium of permittivity epsilon. We know that epsilon is the permittivity of medium, and its value is epsilon is equal to epsilon naught k or epsilon 0 k. Therefore, the angle between E bar and ds bar. What is meant by E bar? It is the direction of magnitude of electric field. ds bar is the direction of area of small surface ds. Therefore, these E and ds bar in which the angle is 0, angle between this E bar electric field and ds area of that surface is 0. Therefore, cos of theta is also equal to 1. We know that cos 0 is equal to 1. This is also learned at the last lecture. Therefore, this equation can be written as E vector dot ds vector, E vector dot ds vector is equal to E ds cos of theta. This equation also seen at the last lecture in the first application of Gauss theorem. We know that this is the dot product, this is the scalar, this is the vector, and this is the scalar. Therefore, this value of cos theta is equal to 1. Therefore, this equation can be written as flux d phi through the area ds. D phi is the small flux, small electric flux for the small surface area ds. We consider a small surface area ds. Therefore, its flux is d phi. D phi is the small flux. Therefore, is equal to E ds, because of the cos of theta is also equal to 1. Cos of theta is equal to 1. Therefore, we find out from this equation total electric flux through the Gaussian surface. Total electric flux through the Gaussian surface. We determine here small d phi, that is the small magnetic flux, electric flux. Therefore, this phi is also the total electric flux. What happened? We taken the integration of this equation. Therefore, phi is equal to integration over closed surface E vector dot ds vector. We know that its value is find out. E vector dot ds vector is equal to integration over closed surface only E ds. Because of we know that here cos of theta is equal to 1. Therefore, here is E is the constant. E is the constant. Therefore, E is right outside from the integration. Therefore, we can write phi is equal to E integration over closed surface ds. What is ds? ds is the small surface of imaginary Gaussian surface. This Gaussian surface is also the one of the cylinder. It's having length L, it's having length L, and the radius small r. This Gaussian surface is the cylinder, and it's having length L, and its radius is small r. And we know that the area of this cylinder is also given by 2 pi r L. We know that area of cylinder is 2 pi r L. Small r is the radius of cylinder, small r L is the length of that cylinder. Therefore, this equation can be written as value of integration ds is equal to 2 pi r L is put in this equation. Therefore, we can write phi is equal to E as it is integration over closed surface ds is given by 2 pi r L. Therefore, we get the equation phi is equal to E 2 pi r L, equation number 2. Then we know that by the Gauss theorem, the value of electric flux phi is equal to Q upon epsilon naught, equation number 3. This equation we already studied at the last lecture. Phi is equal to Q upon epsilon naught. It also is equal to the integration over closed surface E vector dot ds vector. This is the Gauss theorem, Gauss law. Therefore, this equation number 3, we put the value of Q. Then see the linear charge density lambda. Lambda is equal to Q upon L. Q is equal to lambda L. This is the value of Q. Q is the charge on that given cylinder. Therefore, Q is equal to lambda L. This value, equation number first, the value of Q is put in this equation. Phi is equal to Q upon epsilon naught. We know that the value of Q is equal to, by the equation number first, lambda L. Therefore, the value of Q is put in this equation. This equation number 3 becomes phi is equal to lambda L upon epsilon naught. What is the lambda L? Lambda L is equal to Q. And we know that the value of Q is equal to lambda L. Therefore, equation number 3 becomes phi is equal to lambda L upon epsilon naught. Equation number 4. Then we get the two value of phi. Equating the LHS and RHS of these two equations. Which equation? Equation number 2 and equation number 4. These both are equation of phi. Therefore, equating these both equations, we can write lambda L upon epsilon naught. This is the RHS of this equation number 4 is equal to E 2 pi r L. This is this side of equation number 2. Both are equating. We get the value of E. L get cancelled. We get the value of E is equal to lambda upon 2 pi epsilon naught r. Lambda upon 2 pi epsilon naught into r. This is the equation of electric field intensity due to an infinitely long straight charge wire or the cylinder. But the direction of the electric field is also outward. Here, the direction of the E bar is also outward, radially outward from that cylinder. At that time, if the lambda is positive, what is lambda? Lambda is the linear charge density. This lambda is positive, then this direction of E is outward from that cylinder. And if the lambda is negative, that means this is the infinitely long charge wire, is also negative charge. Therefore, the direction of E is inward. If lambda is negative. Therefore, the direction of E is inward if lambda is negative. This is the electric field intensity. Equation number 5. E is equal to lambda upon 2 pi epsilon naught r. This is the electric field intensity due to the infinitely long straight conductor or wire. This lambda is the linear charge density, epsilon naught is the permittivity of medium, r is the radius of that given Gaussian surface. Okay, thank you.